Kiana and
Ryna,
and you are whining with the big girls.
Okay, y'all, so we are super excited to be here today. Because you're whining with the big girls, I'm going to show you.
Alright, what are we tasting?
We're having Prophecy. It's a Pinot Grigio.
Yep.
Okay. And it has 12.5% alcohol.
That's a little high.
That is a little high. But you know what?
We're going to try it and we're going to let y'all know.
Let you guys know what we think about it.
It looks like it should be sweet.
Yes, giving me... Yeah, sweet. It smells
pineapple?
It smells like a Moscato.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Oh, and I love a good Moscato.
All right, so we gotta do cheers.
Okay.
All right, what are we toasting to?
Toasting to
the big girls.
The big girls. Cheers.
Not what I expected.
It's not too sweet though. That's a good. I mean,
it has a sour, bitter aftertaste.
Aftertaste, that's true.
So like, if you don't like sweet wine, but then you also don't like super dry wine, this is it. This is the kind of wine where you just drink because there's no real taste, and you just
like
drink
you see how I'm just like gulping and gulping.
It grows on you though.
Yeah, I can get used to this.
Like after a while, you're like, oh, let me get some more.
Yeah.
All right.
It's making me feel weak. That video. I see why y'all drink wine.
I knew you was gonna do that.
That's my favorite video. I'm a wine girl, so
okay.
Wine.
And
would definitely recommend.
So,
yeah, show them what it looks like. In case you want some.
And it's 12.5%.
It looks like a cream.
I like the label.
Me too. It's
like it's
artistic.
super fan, artistic, and like it's giving me galaxy
vibes. Yeah.
What are we getting into today right now?
We're gonna be talking about
courting.
Something that men of 2021 need to do a better job with.
And something that women in 2022 need to allow men to be better at. Because it be y'all, not us.
Honestly,
y'all.
I feel like we all play a role with the disaster when it comes to the dating scene. We all play a role in it. Yeah. Women need to let men do their thing. So let's get into it. Let's get into the conversation.
All right. So how long should a man court a woman?
I think, honestly, I don't like putting a limit.
Because Ella is like,
oh, dude. I personally don't know.
Okay, so how long should a man court a woman?
Honestly, to put a time frame, I don't like putting a time frame because you never know how long a guy... Like, I don't like putting a time frame to you, so I personally don't know.
Okay, but like on an average, I'm not saying like the time frame is like, yes, this is what it must be. Okay. But like on an average, I think a good 2-3 months is solid.
2-3 months? Okay, when you say courting, like what does that entail? Do you mean like the talking stage, the dating stage, or like everything in one before you guys become an official item? Like explicit.
This dog.
Ella! If you not remember what I said then.
Okay, you can sit here. All right. Is this okay if she sits here?
Yeah, it's fine.
It gives a little bit of some aesthetic.
Yes.
Okay, so I would say, yeah, like a good 2 to 3 months. Now, naturally, a man is supposed to be courting the woman throughout the entire duration of what they're gonna be, right? So like when they first meet, to getting to know each other, to dating exclusively, being in a relationship, getting married, like every aspect of that is supposed to be courting. But I feel like courting in the sense that I'm using it is specifically the time where you first meet and when you become their girlfriend, right? Because it's kind of like going for a job interview. You don't just get up, get dressed, and go to work. Like you gotta you gotta write your resume, post it online, apply for the position, do the interview, do a pre-interview, then do another interview, then start the job.
Yeah, it's a process.
It's a process.
And during that courting period, you get the chance to know who the person is. And yeah, 2 to 3 months is a good time, because I know a lot of people complain about, like, you know, getting in a relationship really fast, and then let me say 2, 3, 4 months down the line, they say, oh, I
didn't even know him.
He was like that. Well, baby, you shouldn't have rushed into it. You should have given it time. You should have let him court you. Let him get to know you.
And you know, it sucks because sometimes you can, like, let someone court you for 6 months, right? And then as soon as you put the final approval on it, like, yeah, this is my man, this is my woman, it's like something just, like, it don't shift. Like, they just...
For some situations,
they
the
throw
switch up is so rare.
Yeah, like, they just throw everything out the window. But that's not what we're talking about. In this case, we're talking about in the perfect situation, right? Or ideally, how it should go. You meet a guy, and you have 2 to 3 months window where you really get to know him. Like, does he yell when he's angry? Like, does he raise his voice? Is he abusive? Is he emotionally intelligent and available? That's a really good point. Like, people might be ready to be in a relationship, but it doesn't mean that emotionally they're ready. And so, like, when you give that space, you get to know the person. And in that 2 to 3 months, now, enjoyment. Enjoyment. No stress. Like,
soft life.
That's
the time you guys really need to enjoy each other's company. Enjoy the process of getting to know each other. You know?
Otherwise, if you're applying for a job and I'm not impressed by your skills, how can you ever get the job, honey?
Honestly, And also, let's talk about communication during that courting period. I feel like when we say courting, we need to go in details as to what needs to happen during that courting period.
I feel like you low-key shady me, but it's okay. It's okay.
I'm sorry, I'm just analyzing real life experiences.
Right. No. But communication
is very crucial. That's the time that you guys say what you want, what you don't want. And you know, it's also during that time too, you might see things, the person might be a little bit too much, but I just think you should accept or allow him to be too much.
This video is over because I'm being shaded and I don't like it.
Because you're like, a lot of girls go through that period of like self-doubt when like during that courting period, the guy is doing so much for them. The guy is enjoying. You guys are enjoying. But then the girl's like, oh my God, it's too good to be true. No, just enjoy it for a while. While it lasts or while it's happening. And if something bad pops up, then you deal with that issue from there. But during that period, if he's being like extremely nice, yeah, enjoy it, accept it. However, you have to also differentiate when someone is being like not real, because you know some men can fake it.
I think there's a word for it, like men that like to love bomb you, right? So like they meet you and you present or you represent a part of, you give them some sort of aesthetic that they like. And make no mistakes, a lot of guys be saying that girls be using them, but these men, they will use these high quality and high valued women. They meet a woman that's just like dope, like me and her. And like, you know, it's good for their aesthetics and they soak up on that. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, you know, I love you and all this stuff. But it's like, bro,
calm down.
What's my favorite color?
When is the perfect time for a guy to express how he really feels about you?
See, that's hard.
I really like you, or I love you. When is
No, so there is no particular time, right? I feel like if you... I beg, what's this one? This one.
Talk now.
If you want to say something, say it with your chest. Say
You were saying there's no time frame.
Okay. So there's no set time, right? Of course, like we, you know, as women, we always like, we want a man that's like sure. Like they see you, you know, they interact with you and they're sold, right? Like don't waste too much time trying to figure it out and talking to this one and talking, hipping and hopping and zigging and zagging all over the place like somebody we know. You know, like a woman wants a man that, you know, when he gets the opportunity, he's just like,
that's it.
This is I want. Yeah, you know, I've been through X, Y, and Z, and I just, you know, I mean, it doesn't mean that the girl is perfect. It just means that what you know about her so far, it's, you know, it matches.
Yeah.
Now, with me, I'm a little bit weird. So I had a guy that I met, and I wasn't even looking to date, right? And he came into my life like a freaking storm, and just doing all the right things, saying all the right things. Why is he smiling hard down?
Let me tell my story. I'm happy for you now. I'm happy that you found somebody like that. Keep going.
It doesn't go the way you think. So, like, he came in like, you know, he's really sweet and all that. And come to find out, he wasn't who he said he was. So, it was all about the aesthetic I was giving him as a man.
Right.
So, usually men that don't have their own confidence, those are the men that love bomb you because they want to influence the way you think. They want you to feel comfortable and let your guard down so that they can move however way they can. Mm-hmm. When a man has your trust and has your confidence, you get what I'm saying? When they hold that in their hand, they can do anything with it. And that's how a lot of women, like, we get stuck in these relationships that started off so well, and then they just... So that happened before. And that's why these days, I'm a little bit cautious. Like, of course, I want someone that's just like, she's everything, which I am. But, you know, like, it also kind of put me on alert because it makes me think about that situation, how that started. It started off with, I'm sure about you. This man begged me to be in a relationship with him. I did not want to be in a relationship. And I let him, and I'm not blaming him because I take full responsibility for what I allowed. So I should have stood my ground when I said I didn't want to be in a relationship, but I let him manipulate me. And I got into a relationship and it was just a mess. So now it's like, I have PTSD, damn it.
Okay, now, so for girls who go through stuff like that, who see all the best sides of a man and then later on realize that it was all a facade, how can we better, like, how can we detect certain, like, how can I put it?
What are the signs, like red flags?
Yeah, what are the signs that, like, give that off?
So, for one, right, if how he treats you outside in public doesn't match with how he treats you when you're alone, that's a huge flag. So if he's all over you when you guys go out, but he's not all over you in the house, or like when it's just y'all two, that's a huge red flag, right?
Ladies, that is why going on dates is very important, and not staying in his home and smoking.
Exactly. I don't even present the atmosphere in my home. Like, So, you know, when you go out and you look cute, you know, and you're like, Ella, what are you doing? Down. You look cute. I have a Yorkie and she's mad. You look cute and, you know, like, of course, guys are looking at you and whatever. And so, you know, he does the little, and then he's like, oh, give me a kiss. Knowing y'all are not dating or y'all not in a relationship, but he wants that PDA just to kind of,
I guess, make people know
something.
What it ain't his.
But when you're alone, you're not getting feet massages, you're not getting flowers, you're not getting chocolate, you're not being called beautiful. That's a huge red flag, because baby, now I gotta charge you if you take me out.
I know.
Because you fitting off my aesthetic, and what am I getting in return?
Yeah, not saying that a guy has to do those foot massages all the time, but she's using, like, if you're gonna be all affectionate in public, do the same thing at home.
Exactly.
You know?
Because then it don't match.
It doesn't match. It doesn't match at all. Okay, so now when it comes to courting, from a female's perspective, or just in general, 2 to 3 months is a long time, and a lot of guys and a lot of people agree that some intimacy has to insert itself in there somewhere. So, like,
no, it doesn't.
So, like, some For those people who want to know how,
Okay.
like when it for
like when is a good time to have
to
sex?
be more intimate? Yeah.
When you're comfortable, sure, and ready. And you have to be all those three things, not just comfortable. Because you could be comfortable with someone, but it doesn't mean that you're ready. So you have to be comfortable with that person, who they are, the demons that they have, the things that they're working on. You have to be sure that if you take that step and things don't work out the way you want it to be, you're going to be able to live with that decision. And you have to be ready, because taking on a partner intimately is a lot. Like, and I don't just mean like, oh, just, doing the action, but it bridges a gap between a man and a woman. And I feel like a lot of times people go into that environment like very casually, like, oh, let's just do that. And then they do it. And then what else is left?
Not only that, sex is a very sacred act, because you're not only sharing your body, you guys are sharing each other's body fluids from inside. So that leaves you with having a deeper connection. Hence why I'm sure that's why Christians always emphasize on the fact that you need to wait till marriage as opposed to just, giving your body out to anybody. Your body is a temple.
Right.
So before you have sex with whoever, you need to make sure that, like she said, you're comfortable enough to be able to share each other's energy. And when I say share energy, you're not, that boy, whoever it is not only carrying energy from his own energy, but the previous people he has sex with. So like all that baggage, all that what he's about, is gonna transfer onto you. And so you have to make sure that, like, okay, this is somebody that I want to share my energy with long term. Hence why after you have sex, sometimes you think of them out of nowhere, or you smell them out of nowhere. Well, that's because that person is part of you now.
Wow, dropping knowledge.
Yes, when I found that out, I was like,
it makes you not want to do much anymore.
It makes me very, very like careful about who I want to share that energy with, like, or who I'm comfortable with. So I just like try not to get into that, because But anyways, just like a little knowledge about sex. Sex is not just I get it. I'm all for being sexually in tune with yourself and embracing your sexual life, whatever. But just be careful.
Also, ladies, for the life of me, please stop having sex with broken men. Stop it.
Honestly,
men that are not healed. Stop having sex with men that are not healed. Stop having sex with men that are broken. Men that are struggling to find their identity. A man that doesn't yet know who he is, what can he give you? Like, as women, I'm like a big advocate for men being leaders, right? Because that's the household I grew up in. But any guy that really knows who I am would tell you she's her own leader, right? But in the household, a man has to be able to lead, right?
Facts.
And how can a broken person lead you? How can someone who is lost lead? Where are they leading you to? Answer. Where are you going?
It's wahala. To stress. That's where they're leading you to. Hence why some relationships be so stressful.
Stop like all that. Oh, he has potential, baby. It's not your problem. let him go find the potential over there. And then when he has the potential and he's in a space to be ready to be with you and you guys link up again, that's great. Like, please stop, not even just sleeping, just stop entertaining, stop allowing, stop interacting. People that are broken will continue to break things unless they heal. Right? And a lot of times as women, society has this notion that we have to heal people. Am I Jesus? Am I a doctor?
We got our own selves to heal.
Like, baby, it's not your responsibility. Now, if you're with somebody and something happens, like, obviously, that's the time where you are the healer and, like, you're there for them. But, like, when you're getting to know somebody and this and that and this and that, and baby,
it gets too much. It's overwhelming.
Soft life only.
Soft life 2022
like,
only.
It's not that deep. It's not that deep. Like, if you're who he wants, he will sort it out. Like, he will sort it out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and it will come with ease, but then I'm like, wait, not necessarily. Not all the time.
No, I'm a firm believer in that. I don't like to struggle for anything. Like, when it comes to my dating perspective, any hardship is
out the window. Soft life only.
Like, I'm a soft babe, and I want a soft life. Like, and I'm not saying, like, you're not gonna run into challenges. Like, honestly, that's not what I'm saying. But you yourself, like, you're gonna know when things are not what they need to be.
Facts, yeah. Like,
nobody's gonna need to tell you anything. Like, you feel it. Like, and I'm not talking about, like, if you have a man that is really 100% genuine and just all about you, right? And they have external factors, external things going on, that's different. What I'm talking about is the men themselves that have a lot going on. Like, they have poor communication skills, they have trust issues, they have insecurities,
emotionally unavailable. That one's a big one.
Baby girl, look, God did not create us to struggle.
Hey, honestly, that's facts.
I don't know about you.
We did not come to this earth to struggle one bit.
I refuse that one. What did that girl say? I've been suffering for 19 years. Yes. I've been suffering for 26 years. It's time for me to live my life.
Period.
In peace. With a husband. Not a boy.
Honestly.
But, like, I don't know. I see, like, girls in relationships and they're just being treated so crazy. And it really breaks my heart. But it's like, now you choose them.
You choose them. You can walk away, you can stay. Now, okay, during the courting period, what are some healthy boundaries to set for yourself?
I'm so glad you brought that. You know, boundaries is my favorite thing
I
ever.
know. I still didn't learn them. I'm still learning, literally.
I love me some boundaries. Ladies, look. The most effective way for you to remain you and keep the life that you've created, right? This is for my high value women. Like, you know what I mean. When you've worked hard to create a certain life for yourself, right? And a man comes in, the most effective way to ensure that even after his absence, you're still good is by setting boundaries.
Healthy ones.
Healthy boundaries. Men come in like storm. They come in like, like, I like you. Let's date. What's the rush? Baby girl. Let's do it.
I'm serious about you.
What seriousness?
Wasting time.
You know what I'm saying? Like, healthy boundaries. Healthy boundaries. One of my boundaries that I have, I don't do spending the night. Even though I have broken it, but I'm aware of it, right? But the reason why I have that boundary, I've broken it on a case-by-case basis. Safety reasons. But, like, that, you don't want that familiarity and comfortability that fast. Like, no. I understand, and it was the pandemic, so we couldn't really do much. Okay, pandemic don't end. Go outside. Go dates.
Go on a picnic.
Right.
Go take her out to a restaurant. Something.
So, yeah, none of that Netflixing and chilling at the crib the first month. No.
I'm sorry for cutting you off. Yeah. I just want to say Netflix and chill should be something that's, like, I should do when I'm, like, maybe 2 months in or even in a relationship, because that way I feel comfortable. At that point, I know who I'm hanging out with. However, I have broken that as well. Well, I didn't necessarily Netflix and chill, honestly. It was just I went to a guy's house when I barely knew him. And I think it was because I knew already that nothing was going to happen. Not even that, it's just I came in there as a friend. So in the back of my head, I'm like, even though I know he's interested in me, I'm coming in there as a friend because me and you are nothing. We haven't established anything yet, so that was comfortable. But when you know for sure, a guy is like getting to know you and stuff like that, and he wants to quote unquote date you, and he's courting you during that time, you should try as much as possible to limit Netflix and chill. I feel like you should get to know him outside of his crib, you know.
And your crib.
And your crib.
Or your mama's crib.
Or your mama's crib before doing your Netflixing and chilling.
No, like, you know, we're laughing, but like this is for real, because it's not really about like, oh, I don't want somebody to come to my house. Because one, that's your space, right? And two, it's just that level of comfortability need to be able to be gained. It's not something that you just hand out. Like, and I feel like women, we have this natural thing where we just, like, we want to make everyone happy and we don't want to upset people, especially women that, you know, like are very soft and very feminine. Like, we're just kind of like, okay, you know, it's not a big deal. It's not, just because it's not a big deal, it doesn't mean that it's okay. So it's like, date them outside, like, and we're just using the month thing as a timeline.
Yeah,
but it's also depending on your comfortability. So like after 2 weeks, if you're comfortable, shout out to you. If it takes you 3 months, shout out to you. Whatever works for you works for us. Like,
set your own time frame.
Exactly. Exactly. And I feel like when you know that a man respects you, it makes the boundaries a little bit easier. It makes the boundary setting a little bit easier because they demonstrate that they have respect for you. A man that respects you will not break your boundary. And even if he does, he won't he won't invalidate it, and he will try his best to make sure it doesn't happen again. Because we're humans. Like, they're gonna break your boundary. I'm gonna let you know right now. They're gonna try it, right? Yeah. But it's our responsibility. It's not that they break it one time and you just let it go. Enforce it, maintain it, communicate it, and, you know, like, maintain your own boundaries. Because if they see that you're maintaining your boundaries, they're more likely to do it. If you're breaking your boundaries,
they're like, okay, well, shoot, come on.
Exactly.
Don't feel comfortable breaking it.
Yeah, like,
and women, we also have to learn that, like, we have to take charge. As when I say take charge, I mean you have to show a man how to treat you, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
When you're getting into something with someone, they're not gonna automatically know what you like, what you tolerate, and what you don't. So that's where our responsibility comes in now, to tell them, like, okay, this is how I want to be treated. Right. And like she said, if he has respect for you, and he'll be willing to do that. He'll be willing to be patient with you and actually try to learn your ways, and vice versa too. We don't know how men, you know, I don't know a man just, you know, what he likes and what he doesn't like off the bat of meeting, like just off of meeting him. So that's why that courting period is very, very important and essential, so that you guys can get that chance to get to know each other, set those boundaries, so that when you guys are in the actual relationship, you won't be hit by surprises here and there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't have said that better, honestly, right now, because the most common mistakes that we make when we like a guy is we just let all our boundaries go out the window. Yeah. We just be like, oh my God, he's so cute. He's so cute. And
he took me out to eat. He took me to a friend's restaurant.
Child, look.
This is all the bare minimum.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that for a second, y'all. Look, and I'm not shading nobody, right? Because I don't know anybody's pocket, right? So I'm not shading anybody. But can we normalize not making the basic things such a big deal? Like, can we normalize that? Like, can we just start unilaterally as women, just say the dinner dates are the bare minimum? I'm not saying don't be grateful, because some men, they can't afford it and they won't do it even if they can, right? So I'm not saying don't be grateful. Be grateful, but that's not the threshold. That's not your ultimate aha moment. Like, no. Me, when I get a helicopter with my name on it, now you they talk. Now let's get married. You said what? But like, seriously, like, all jokes aside, like, dinner dates, they're basic things, right?
Opening doors, basic things.
You don't trigger me.
Like, little things.
Let me tell you something. I would never go on a date with a man that don't open doors for me. I just won't do it. And she would tell you that. You don't, I'm leaving. And you know what? I know somebody gonna watch this video and be like, oh, she's bougie. She thinks she's
That's
okay.
her standard.
It's okay. The right man, they're not gonna feel offended.
At all.
And I grew up around that. Like, my brother opened doors. My uncles, they opened doors. My dad, he is the representation of, like, the basic things that needs to come with having a man, right? So it's like, you want me to open my own door. Why do you want to see me suffer? Why do you want to see me struggle?
No.
Who sent you? No.
Open my door.
Open up. But, you know, like, we're talking about courting just from a women's perspective, right? Mm-hmm. Now, let's flip it. So, in a courting period, like, I feel like women, we need to do a better job at courting men, too. Because when you say courting, people always think that it's the man's job. Yeah. But it's both.
So how can I court a man?
Okay, so look.
Educate me.
So maybe, I don't know if courting is the right word to use when it comes to the reverse of it, right? But I feel like just as we have basic needs, men do too.
True.
And so if we want them to court us, and for me, my courting stages, it's not too much material, but more of internal. So my courting stage, I'm seeing that you're trustworthy. You're showing me. You're sharing. I'm not having to insert myself in your life. You're naturally inserting me into things. You're naturally communicating your day with me, your plans with me. That's what I consider courting, because you're laying out the foundation of what our relationship is going to look like outside of the material things, right? And I only date financially stable men. Sorry. So that's already out the window, right? But internally, that's where I feel like women, we throw it out the window, because we get so sidetracked with, we're going on dates and he's buying me this, but you're not assessing, like, does he talk about his family? Is he close with his family? What kind of trauma is involved in that area? Like, does he have kids? How does he interact with his children? Like, these internal qualities, that's what you are going to date. The flashy things, they come and go. But the thing that's inside, that's who you're stuck with. And that's where, at least that's how I do my courting. I can't speak for anybody else.
Nah, that's a real.
Like,
I never looked at it that way.
Like, because if he's buying you X, Y, and Z, but low key he's depressed, but he isn't comfortable telling you, or he never tells you. Mm-hmm. Now the flashy things are done, but now you have a depressed boyfriend. I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, and then what are you gonna do? Because you
now
never
you're stuck. And then now, if you try to leave because of your own sanity, now
you already enjoyed all his money.
All his money now, bitches ain't. Yeah, it definitely works both ways.
It really does. And that's why I say, like, courting work both ways, because most of the time men express their affection through, like, gifts, like, you know. And
no, man, man, I beg to differ, but I get what you mean.
Like, they're more showy, material.
The right men, the emotionally, the financially stable men.
Okay, yeah.
This is all she deals with, so she's only talking from experience. Some of us, we notice the bad and the ugly. Get away.
She's lying.
I promise you.
No.
My dating experience is so different from yours. But
I don't think so.
You don't, girl, you haven't heard half of it, but.
Well, I've gone through stuff too.
From the way you're talking, you come across some pretty good men who were, pretty good with.
Yeah, but not that good. They had money, and that's the thing. Women are so easily impressed, and it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart.
But we're easily impressed when we see that half of them are not doing anything. So when we find that one that actually is putting in a little bit of effort, taking us on a date. What? Let me tell you, being in the DMV for the past couple of days, not trying to sidetrack or anything, but I can count with my 5 fingers how many times I've been on a date, and I've talked to multiple men. I've been on what? 1 date. That's because of her.
Wait, what do you mean?
I've been on another date. Okay, fine. I've been on 2, 3. Okay, 3 dates. But I've talked to multiple men because all men want to do is invite you over to their house to smoke. Ain't nobody gonna do all that. So her dating experience is a lot different. So that's why I get why a lot of girls like me get impressed by things like dates or gifts. Because
I get impressed
men don't do that at all nowadays. And I bet you a few of you can agree with that. Leave a comment below if you agree with that.
So look, I get impressed too, right? I do. Just not to
She's a big girl. We keep going.
No. But all jokes aside, I get impressed too, right? But what I'm saying is not to the point where you're giving up control, right? And what I mean by that is men that have money is all about control. Mm-hmm. So you have to always think twice as fast and twice as hard. Mm-hmm. Because the same technique that they use to make money, they extend that in the dating world. It's all about control. Mm-hmm. Me, I'm very big on power and control because in the past, I've given that away either through manipulation or ignorance. I didn't know I was, and I did it. And so now I'm more in tune with myself where it's oh, nah. I'll be impressed to go on a date, but you still can't come to my crib.
That's where temple, fact.
So, and they'll do little things, and then they think that means it's a pass. It's like a little gateway to be happy about your dates. Please be happy and be, enjoy it. I be enjoying myself, but you still can't come to the crib. You still can't. You still can't do a lot of things because I'm not there yet. Mm-hmm. Come here. I'm not there yet, and until I'm there and I'm comfortable, then we just not gonna do nothing until I'm ready. Facts. We as women, we need to start reeling in that power. Even if you like a guy, you don't give away all your power as soon as you like somebody. Because guess what? You don't know who they are. How can you give them that much power? You don't know what they're going to do with it. What? Come here. I'm in a place where I move strategically, right? With the right man. First of all, anybody that has dated me, they will date me again. I'm a soft babe. I don't do too much. Right? But they'll also tell you I'm probably one of the most, what's the word? I guess we could use smart, but I was looking for something more I'm just not somebody you can really play with. I don't know what word to use because I'm already ahead of you. Mm. You get what I'm saying? And I feel like women, sometimes, even though we know, we just be oh my God.
Oh, yeah. We know in the back of our head, but we just let it slide because...
Why do we let it slide?
When you're impressed for that first 10 seconds, it just takes over you. But
really?
Yeah. I mean, but then it doesn't last. And then we're back to square one and then repeat the same thing over. It's a cycle. So that's why we have Nanapa.
Girl.
To coach us through this.
I'm here to help.
Cheers to all of that. It's 36 minutes. You done with your brother now? You done with shit?
So, ladies, It's all love, right? It's all because we're all learning. Like
We're all learning.
everybody in different stages. There's still so much that we need to learn as women, and I feel like once we take the time to learn ourselves, we get real particular about our boundaries. And I just want to say one more thing, and I want y'all to see my face when I say it.
Zoom in on her.
Ladies, you don't have to date every man that shows interest in you, right? You don't have to date them. You don't have to fake be into them. Say no. If they're not physically what you want, say no. Financially, say no. Quality and character wise, say no. Like, I feel like it's such a taboo these days. I feel like it's such a taboo these days for women to say no, because it's like, how dare you? F you and your money, and your nice beard, and your dark chocolate skin.
Your nice car.
Oh, wait, I just realized you're talking about F you and that Maserati, baby.
Say no. If he really, really, really wants you, he will come again and again and again.
If they're not what you want, say no until you find a man that's exactly what you want. At least close to it. All right, guys.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to. So here's to women being better, choosing better,
partners,
and doing better.
Period. Cheers.
See y'all in the next video.
Don't forget to check out our Instagram. I'm going to leave in the description box below. Mine is Rynakingg and Chocolate Skin by Ryna. And hers is
at the Real Nanaba.
Can't wait to see you guys in our next episode.
Video.
If you like what you see, comment down below. See you guys next time. Thanks for whining with the big
girls.